Today's video features a recap of the adrenaline-fueled thriller Recoil. Welcome to Flashback Recap. Hit subscribe and let's dive right in. The film begins with three men hunting in the forest. One of them, Dale, splits from his companions to pursue an animal. Soon he spots the animal and prepares to shoot. Suddenly, a large bald man appears and shoves Dale off a cliff, killing him. This man is Ryan Varrett, an ex-cop seeking revenge because his family was murdered a few years ago. Dale was one of the murderers. After eliminating Dale, Ryan drives to a small town named Hope, which is dominated by a violent biker gang, even intimidating the sheriff. Ryan is aware of this, but is undeterred and heads to the town anyway. In Hope, Ryan stops at a gas station to buy some supplies and ask about lodging. The owner, Kirby, directs him to the only motel in town. The motel, managed by a young woman named Darcy, has no visitors because people avoid Hope. Darcy is shocked that Ryan has come to the town, but he insists he has business there. Meanwhile, an FBI special agent named Frank is plotting with his team to capture Dale, who is also a rapist. During their discussion, another agent arrives with news that Dale has been found dead. The scene then flashes back to Ryan's days as a cop. He was at a party with his family when a group of criminals attacked, shooting at everyone, including Ryan and his family. The attackers' leader, Drake Santiago, targeted them because he despised the cops who had previously jailed him. He sought revenge by killing those cops and their families. Ryan was one of his targets but miraculously survived despite being shot. In the present, Ryan is driving around the town when he notices some motorcycles parked outside a building. A gang member emerges and becomes enraged by a barking dog. He pulls out his gun to shoot the dog, but Ryan intervenes and beats him up. The commotion draws the attention of the gang members inside, who come out to investigate. The gang leader, Drake, is there but doesn't recognize Ryan. Despite Ryan beating up one of his men, Drake lets him go due to other pressing matters, though he remains suspicious and instructs his younger brother Rexo to keep an eye on the bald man. The next day, Rexo informs Drake that a club owner has refused to pay the protection fee. Infuriated, Drake challenges the owner to a one-round boxing match, promising not to demand the fee again if the owner wins. Despite his age, Drake is still formidable and easily defeats the man. He spares him, needing the money the owner can't pay if he's dead. Drake and his gang earn money through various means, including overseeing lab, but Ryan remains a concern. That night, Rexo goes to Darcy's motel to ask if a bald man named Ryan is there. Darcy refuses to answer, so Rexo threatens her, saying he'll send her to hell if she doesn't comply. Ryan hears Rexo's threats and stops him with violence. Seeing Rexo beaten, Darcy warns Ryan that Rexo is Drake's younger brother and that Drake will seek revenge. Ryan, unfazed, takes Rexo to the gang's lab, ties him to a car, and sends it crashing into the lab, causing an explosion that kills Rexo and destroys the lab, much to Ryan's satisfaction. Drake and his gang soon discover the explosion and rush to the scene, only to watch helplessly as the flames engulf the lab. Furious over his brother's death, Drake confronts the sheriff and threatens his family if he intervenes. The sheriff, terrified, does not resist, hoping to prevent further violence by allowing the gang free rein. The following day, Ryan targets a gang truck delivering meth to another city. He quietly follows it, deflates its tire, and attacks the driver when he exits the vehicle, smashing his head against the car door before blowing up the truck. A gang member witnesses the explosion and informs Drake, who, losing a significant amount of meth, becomes enraged and suspects Ryan. To confirm his suspicions, Drake orders his men to bring Kirby to their base, demanding his assistance in investigating Ryan. Kirby, terrified, has no choice but to comply. That same day, Kirby begins his investigation by checking Ryan's car parked near the motel. Ryan catches him in the act, and Kirby nervously invites him for a drink at his house nearby. Sensing deceit, Ryan questions Kirby about searching his car. Kirby confesses that Drake ordered him to gather information. Their conversation is interrupted by a motorcycle's arrival. Drake's man, Crab, has come to challenge Ryan. The fight is brief, with Ryan emerging victorious and letting Crab go. Meanwhile, Drake learns from the sheriff that Ryan is an ex-cop who quit after his family was murdered. Grateful for the information, Drake compensates the sheriff. Later that night, Drake and his men break into Kirby's house, killing him for failing to provide useful information on Ryan. The next morning, Ryan discovers Kirby's murder and, wasting no time, storms one of Drake's clubs, beating up all the gang members. He kidnaps Crab, kills him, and dumps his body at the gang's headquarters. Enraged, Drake gathers his men, readying them to hunt Ryan. That night, Darcy hears suspicious noises at the motel. She arms herself with a shotgun, but Ryan instructs her to hide behind the reception desk, anticipating an attack. As Drake's men enter, Ryan commands Darcy to turn off the lights. In the ensuing darkness, gunfire erupts. When the lights come back on, all the gang members are dead, and Ryan is unharmed. Realizing the danger, he takes Darcy away, unaware that more enemies are outside. They ambush and beat him until he passes out. Ryan awakens to find himself and Darcy captured at the gang's headquarters. With his arms tied, Drake threatens to kill them both, but first intends to harm Darcy. He orders a henchman to torture Ryan while he steps away. The tough guy enjoys beating Ryan, but Ryan breaks free and knocks him out. He then searches for Darcy, fighting off gang members along the way. He finds her tied and gagged with duct tape, frees her, and they attempt to escape the ship serving as the gang's base. Ryan knows the final showdown with Drake is inevitable. He tells Darcy to leave while he confronts Drake. Drake recalls Ryan as the cop whose family he killed, believing Ryan had died. They engage in a fierce battle, with Ryan initially overpowering Drake, but Drake rises with a knife to attack Ryan from behind. Fortunately, FBI agent Frank arrives just in time, shooting Drake dead. The FBI had come to hope to dismantle Drake's gang, which had been terrorizing the town. Frank decides not to arrest Ryan, recognizing the need for someone like him. Ryan leaves the town, promising to see Frank again. The movie ends with Ryan attacking a group of Drake's remaining associates, seeking vengeance for his family's murder. The story's moral is clear. If you plan to single-handedly take on a gang, you better be an ex-cop with a vendetta and a flair for dramatic explosions.